FATENZO.com, 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 FATENZO.com. FATENZO.com, FATENZO.com, FATENZO.com.
Good morning, Pookie. And happy also Monday? Yeah, so it's Monday the of the 13th week in ordinary time. Also, thank you to all of our listeners and all of our viewers. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Please help us get some views on social media.
Am I even on this?
Yeah, now you.
Why would they want to share this?
Well, who knows? Not maybe that part.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to share this.
No, and we are also available on Spotify and Rumble and soon all social media platforms.
That's right. And if you don't know, this is the Fat Enzo Show.
Yes, it is.
I'm your host. It doesn't matter what my name is. The name's right there on the wall behind me. If you can read it, that's the name. I'm name fluid. And that degree behind me is an English degree. And even despite the fact that I have that, I don't know for the life of me what a pronoun is. I also have horrible reading comprehension. Anywho, this is America's finest Asian sidekick, Genghis Khan. The two of us are hell bent on getting spiritual, getting centered, regardless of other people, other people's misdeeds. JLP,
like in the world,
like namely JLP.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Just one more thing, like we talked about yesterday. We had a video from what is the name of it? Christian
minister.
I forgot the
militant.
Christian militant.
Yes, Christian militant. Yeah.
Right. That channel they had they did a
I guess you would call it almost expose. Well,
they did an expo gay.
Yeah, but they did
an expo gay.
However, I believe it should really be called like right now, like an accusation, accusing. It's not.
There was no.
I have yet to see any there hasn't been any proof I've found yet. Like, is there any photo evidence of him doing these things, or or video evidence of him acting weird like that? So right now, I believe it's more of an accusation over exposing, because you haven't exposed anything yet, really. You have testimony, but you have no.
Yeah, they had somebody. Well, people saying that happened to them.
Yeah, they have testimony, and that's.
Here's the main takeaway for me. regardless of that,
Right.
I am still saying that the spirituality and the meditation goes together. It needs to go together, right? But it actually pushes me into 100% into just what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And that's the Catholic thing. I think that's tried and true. And yeah, they've had their problems, and they've all had their problems. Look at Jesse Lee Peterson. All of these people do succumb to the power game.
I mean, even
the corruption.
Wasn't there accusations against Joel Osteen years ago about money?
I have no idea.
I remember hearing there were
wasn't that's right? There was something with
money in the wall at the
mall in the wall
bathroom or something. Yeah,
it was the people, the construction workers or something.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I feel like a lot of the people, whenever you rise to power, whether it's political power or entertainment,
when you have influence over others,
that's it. Yeah,
like this podcast might blow up, and then all of a sudden I'll have influence over others. I'll be able to use my power sinisterly. That's really what I'm trying to do. That's my ulterior motive. Watch out, because people will actually tell you what they are and what they're all about.
Or they're just stupid and revealing their plan. Gangsters moving silence.
No, I mean, honestly, I have no plan. I'm not saying I'm a godly person. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I am not. I am a sinner. I am a stoner.
Well,
and
sin, I believe.
And I'm
is it? I don't know.
Look at that up in the
hold on.
Pot is in the Bible. Is it not? Pot is in the Bible? I thought it was every seed-bearing plant and herb to use, isn't it? I know they say you could drink, wine, but I think that getting drunk is a sin, and I think it's probably the same. It's the same kind of thing. Like if you're gonna get wasted, like if you're gonna smoke pot to the point of where you can't even function,
that's different.
Then that's sloth-like. That's being sinful, I think.
Yeah, that'd be.
But if
even gluttony, because you're taking more than you need, or what?
Yeah. Let's logic our way out of this.
Basically, we are.
We're gonna logic our way out of a sin.
We're gonna attempt to. Nowhere here is really giving me like a. He does say in Genesis. It says in Genesis at some point. And God said, "Behold, I have given you many herb-bearing seeds, which is upon the face of all earth, and every tree, in which is the fruit of the tree, yielding seeds to you." I don't know. I don't get that part, but yeah,
they're gonna give you the fruit and the seeds to use.
But I mean, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's just like, okay, but that could be applied to anything. I mean,
I think it is the same principle as anything, like the wine thing. I think they could probably just apply that same principle.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also somewhere else on here, some denominations do consider even smoking a small amount of weed a sin within their communities.
What denominations? Which ones?
They're not naming any. It seems like it's more of like the community.
Does it say it specifically in Catholicism? Because I don't care. Honestly, I'm going to say right now, I'm going to go on a rant right now. I'm fed up with it.
Actually, no. Catholicism has nothing.
I'm fed up with the denominations, the other denominations. Like, okay, I got off the phone with my buddy who I one of my really close friends.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. It's the accountant.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really consider smoking weed at all a sin, because unless it's like we were saying, unless it's in excess and you're doing it for like a gluttony type reason, or sloth like me.
What was I trying to do just now?
Something with the accountant.
Other than that, I forgot.
Oh, you were looking up.
Oh, I was going to go on a rant right now, right? Yes. Okay. My buddy who I grew up, my buddy who I grew up with, his dad was a preacher. He immediately, dude. Immediately. I told him yesterday, I haven't talked to him in a long time, right? I called him.
Yeah.
And I was telling him how I'm going to Catholic church all the time. So okay, so immediately as soon as he replies, he's like, first of all, yes, I know who Jesse Lee Peterson is. Watch out for him. Second, Catholicism. Watch out for that too. And I'll tell you why. And all the same things. The list of the same things that we talk about all the time. And I feel like I want to put like a little bullet point thing together or something that I could just send people with all the just like the common things that people say about Catholicism and then just rebuttals. What do they think? Honestly, what do other Christian denominations think? I was thinking like, wow, we must look insane actually. If you really think about it, like if I was just like a Bible thumping Christian, right. And I looked at what we do, and I had no idea, I'd be like, what is it? What are they doing?
A little bit, yeah.
You know, some kind of weird ritual. Like, what is that? I would say that too. I'd be like, what? Yeah. You know, I wouldn't understand it either.
And then I think it's also the whole purgatory thing. Like Catholics believe in purgatory and others don't. And
all kinds of different stuff.
I'm going to be honest. Like the purgatory thing, I don't really know what to believe.
No, it sounds insane. It sounds crazy.
Like I don't totally believe it, but then I also feel
there's so many
always be there.
There's so many things within the Catholic Church that I just don't even think about like that. Yeah. You know, you don't take it too seriously. It's that humans are doing human stuff.
Yeah, and then
but the main principle, man, cannot be denied.
What is the main point of the Catholic Church?
It is the one true church.
Yeah, it's a good thing. The main part of the church, meaning the mass and all that, that's good stuff. All the scandals and all that kind of thing, like we just said about JLP and others, once power is in there and you have influence, it's not really that you're going to be targeted, but yes, you kind of are. You're in the public eye. You're going to be targeted. And I mean, really, the Catholic Church has been around for how many?
You're going to get a lot of opportunity to sin. You're going to get a lot of what's the word? Temptation.
Yes.
Things will be easier. People will want to throw things to you, and then at first you probably no, and then
eventually, like the humbleness goes away. Eventually, I feel like the humbleness chips away, and you start doing wrong things. You can always build that back up and be humble again. But I do feel a lot of people succumb to that.
That's why we didn't want kings,
Yeah.
There we go. But a lot of them succumb to this. They all do.
Yeah, I don't really know anybody that had been a public eye figure who had not had a scandal tied to them in one way.
So he sent me a lot of different stuff. Yeah. Watch Pastor Gino Jennings. You know that guy?
No.
Exposing the Trinity lie. Then watch Apostle Gino Jennings. Trinity is nowhere in the Bible. It's a lie. Watch Pastor Gino Jennings. The origin, false religions, facts about religions. Wow. Who's this guy, Pastor Gino Jennings?
Well,
stop claiming you are healed and Mary was the mother of flesh, not God. On YouTube.
Yeah, he's so it says on at least the great book of Wikipedia, Gino N. Jennings, born February 10th, is a American oneness Pentecostal pastor and Christian leader who is best known as being the founder and current leader of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Still don't remember his name. Controversy. Let's see. Many people of other denominations and churches have criticized Jennings and the church for some of their stricter beliefs and views, such as the rejection of women in church clergy, based on 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12.
More women-hating denominations.
Yeah, that's actually the next, basically the next sentence.
It's more women-hating denominations. There's a thing within Christianity that I found that I find is interesting. this thing like the Father, and it's almost like I'm the dominant person over everybody else. And whatever, everything goes according to me. And I don't believe that, man. I don't think that's true. I think that there's roles for everybody, and that there is. That's why I'm happy that I got with the Catholicism. I didn't go down the rabbit hole with Jesse Lee Peterson all the way like that. I'm happy, man. Dude, there's a lot of people that doesn't matter what it is. This right here, somebody might be listening to thinking that everything I'm saying is 100% accurate or something like that. That's why I love saying I'm a retard. You know, I'm a total idiot. I know nothing.
Yeah, and it happens. Yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, like, I don't know. This pastor guy seems a little extreme. He is they claim he hates women, all this stuff. And you know what? That women part, like that JLP talked about, could that be?
Yeah.
To keep you away from thinking of a woman and think of him instead. The diversion thing.
Oh, it's got me all messed. See,
I don't know.
After
me messed up too, man.
After seeing that video, now like today, I was trying to meditate, and I was in mass, and I was saying the same things I usually say to myself, right? Like all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. But I was like, that's coming from him, and so it's giving me a thought.
Yeah, like is he a homosexual, a closeted homosexual? Wow. It just no. After I watched it last night, I'm just like, I sat there. I'm like,
I think we shouldn't even because it's like regardless of if he is or didn't, we should never let our like show ride on somebody else.
No,
and we should never ankle bite off anybody else, because see what happens if you ankle bite off somebody else, you come down like a house of cards.
Yeah, like, I mean, it kind of hit me hard.
Thank God this is only the 33rd episode. We've only done this 33 times in a row every single day for the last 33 days.
And we didn't always. The first couple episodes, I know we would talk about them, but then after the one comment person, we really kind of every day been talking. Oh, no, truthfully, though, it hasn't been every episode.
I want to go with, this is what I want to go with. Here's what I recommend, poopies.
Yeah.
You know, get yourself into just a real church of some kind that's tried and true.
Not.
Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, just get yourself into. Seriously, I'm sticking with we all need spirituality in this country.
We do.
We definitely do.
I mean, there's got to be a God sense or something, or a God belief, really a God belief.
And just because Jesse might do this on the down low.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has problems. Everybody, that doesn't take 100% out the good that he does. But looking back on it with new eye and seeing how he surrounds himself with these guys and stuff, and like the birthday thing, they all like, oh, it's my birthday and stuff like that. It's so gay.
It kind of is, and I mean it. But then again,
I didn't realize. Wow,
as we said.
Does that make me gay? Because I liked that show? Oh my God.
No, I mean...
Should I be questioning my own sexuality?
The only thing I would be worried about is how many times you actually said the exact words of I love you.
I love you.
So that's the question. If it's more than 6 times in one sentence...
It is. It was like more than that. It was a lot.
Well, then I'm sorry, sir.
It's probably...
Or ma'am, I don't know how you identify.
Wow.
But you know what? Before we start talking anything else, let's do the creed.
Oh my God. Okay, so we'll do the creed.
Before we talk,
I guess we should.
Oh wait. Well, I guess you know what? Want to do the bad news recap?
No, let's do the creed.
Creed first. All right.
Oh, you want to do the bad news recap first?
Just like the headlines. You know what I mean?
Sure. You can tell them what we're going to talk about today.
So I have a video for you guys. More than 1 million voters switch registration to GOP as suburb break from Biden. Also, we have Green Day. Billie Joe Armstrong says he's renouncing his U.S. citizenship.
Yes.
And then I have Disney employee slams company for paying abortion travel costs. They haven't learned their lesson.
Okay.
And that's the bad news I got.
Nice. Okay, let's. We got a bunch of bad news. There's a bunch of stupid stuff. I mean, if you want to get a rundown, you said the Billie Joe thing. Nancy Pelosi assaults new Congressperson Mayra Flores' kid. Pride marchers ride bikes naked in presence of children. Racist liberals tweet about Clarence Thomas, exposing their true hypocrisy for what it is. Chicago Mary Lori Lightfoot says, F Clarence Thomas. Liberal stupidiots make empty threats of abstinence, and Full House star Jodi Sweetin thrown to the ground by the LAPD. And the good news, we're going to talk about Saint Cyril of Alexandria. All right. So prepare yourselves, guys. There's some learning to do. This is the FATENZO Show, episode 33. Here's the content creator's credo.
Yep.
I believe that the freedom of speech is a universal international right, that all opinions shall be tolerated regardless if agreeable or disagreeable. I believe in the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, not from it, freedom of the press, the right of the people to peaceably assemble, be it physically or digitally or virtually. I believe in the separation of church and state and corporation. I believe that truth is non-binary and can be objective, subjective, normative, or complex. There are no eternal facts, as there are no absolute truths, except the Word of God. For us creators and for our content, great thinkers have philosophized, and our founding fathers debated the dangers of cancellation and censorship for centuries. And no individual shall be indemnified of criticism or mockery, for there is honesty in jest. I pledge that the ideas I share are my own and are not the expressed opinions of any violent criminal organizations. The only group I represent is the human race, and I reserve the right to interview any of my counterparts without fear, threats, or intimidation. With their opinions being their own, with my opinions being my own, for association does not always equal shared beliefs.
Beliefs.
I pledge to perform in a professional, dignified manner and to not bully, harass, or slander my fellow human creatures, to refrain from hate, anger, sedition, vulgarity, harassment, pornography, cautioning that sarcasm can at times be misinterpreted as such. I believe in the counter-speech doctrine, that the remedy to negative, harmful speech is more positive, helpful speech, not enforced silence, that no person shall be denied access to social media, which is the marketplace of ideas in today's town square, that Section 230 privatizes communism and legalizes slander, and that content creators who have broken community guidelines in the past deserve retribution because we are all constituents of the human party and humans are fallible. Amen. All right.
Outstanding. Pow.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so I think we should just get into the good news section today. We really
need the good news.
Didn't really focus too much on that like we should have yesterday. Yeah. I go to mass every morning, guys. That's how I start my day.
If you didn't know.
Yep. You can meditate in your room, in your prayer closet, or you can go to Catholic Mass. They have one. They have a Mass every single day, regardless of where you are in the world. Today was a feast day of Saint Cyril of Alexandria. And today is, of course, Monday in the 13th week of ordinary time. Cyril, Bishop of Bishop of Alexandria in Egypt, is remembered in the East as the pillar of the faith and seal of all the fathers. He devoted many writings to interpreting sacred scripture and proclaiming faith in the one Lord Jesus Christ. When Nestorius, Bishop of Constantinople, corrected the people's devout way of calling Mary the Theotokos, or God-bearer, Cyril corrected him. Cyril reminded Nestorius, it is essential to explain the teaching and interpretation of the faith to the people in the most irreproachable way, and to remember that those who cause scandal, even to only one of the little ones who believe in Christ, will be subjected to an unbearable punishment. After Nestorius rebuffed Cyril's teaching, the Council of Ephesus in 431, condemned Nestorian Christology. Cyril died in 444. What?
All right.
See, that's more about the Mary thing. There's always this constant thing about Mary.
Well, I mean, I guess
everybody,
even
people cannot handle it. They like have a meltdown.
I think it's because
intercessory prayer. Where does it say it in the Bible? He just said to me. I told him, you saw that. I'm going to send it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he'll have something else to say.
Well, even so, I think it really has to do with the other fact of apparent fact that back then that's how the culture was. Like women were not to hold a position, the same type of position a man can, like in office or anything like that. Well, I think a little bit has to do with possibly like the beginning were because nobody ever revered a woman like that.
The crazy thing is this person though, his dad was a preacher, and I'm going to send him a link right now, just like Uncle Mike. And he just said in the text, it said, nowhere does it said that she is a mother of God. Well, it says the mother of the Lord, doesn't it?
I mean, yes, it does. We looked that up.
So how do these people not know that though? And their dad is a preacher. I just don't understand. Because what is going on within that? Like, what?
Because as we said before, they hyper focus on whatever their denomination highly reveres, I should say.
Yeah.
And that's a slight problem because what I think they do is they then go through the book. Yes, they read the Bible, but they only take the verses that they also believe support their theories of whatever it is.
Right.
And, I'm sure they read that at some point in their lives. If they really truthfully read the Bible, like they say, they read that passage before. However, it never stuck because they looked at it as a irrelevant.
Why is there this history of people wanting to reinvent the wheel? Why do people want to read the Bible for themselves and then go, no way, that's not what it says. This is how I interpret it. And I'm going to start my own spin-off of Christianity. Why does that phenomenon happen? People really get in their egos and think they know that much. Dude, that is all ego. All of the denominations, in my opinion, are pure ego. They're pure ego. Somebody knowing that they can interpret it better than the church, that since they've been interpreting it since the days of the apostles. The Acts of the Apostles is one of the books.
Yeah. But I mean, just like I said, though, I think that hyper-focused part really, really hinders them. And they just see what they want to see. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, they're going to service once a week, tops.
Well, once a week, and then...
Unless they go to like a Bible study on Wednesday, but they're probably not.
It depends on the...
And usually people are missing weeks and stuff. I mean, I'm talking about if you're a Catholic and you're doing it the right way, you're going every day.
Well, who has the liberty or luxury to?
You are... Yeah, well, no, but you can. You can't. Everybody can. It's like going to the gym, dude. No, come on. All right, what kind of work schedule would you have? There's so many...
A lot of landscapers and...
Early, dude. They have back in where I went last week, right? They have a mass every day at 7:30 a.m. and 12:05 p.m. for lunch.
That's terrible timing,
dude. No, you're every anything I tell you, you're gonna say terrible timing. There's
I'm not.
In that area, in that metro area, you can do a Google search and you can find a flood of churches all around there, and there's so many within a radius. Yeah. You could find one any time you want to make it convenient for you. I'm telling you, you can.
Yeah, up there, up north is what I'm agreeing with. Up north that way, yeah. However, in like more places, like I don't know, maybe places more middle of nowhere, like in like Oklahoma or wherever.
With the Catholic Church, the fact that there are so many. The probability that you'll be able to find one to work within your schedule is kind of high. You could do it. I'm telling you.
Hold on. I just want to just that 12 the 7 a.m. mass and the noon mass for lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, from when I worked in construction up north in Jersey, you're on the job site by 6 a.m. You don't, your break isn't around 7. Like, that's not.
There's some at night
But then
too. Anytime
No,
you'll
I know
be
at night.
if you want to do it, you
yeah,
can do it. I'm
yes,
saying.
At night there may be a potential. I don't know many masses that during the week that happen at night.
Most people
don't
start at 9, 10 o'clock for their job. 9 o'clock in the morning is their job. Usually, that's usually what people start. 9 to 5 is the normal job. And if you're going to mass from 7:30 till 8, you can go to work.
Yeah, no, for a 9 to 5 schedule. Yeah.
Yes, and that's most people.
I mean,
so we're talking to most people right now. We're not talking to the one person who, or however many people are in construction.
There's a lot of people.
There are, but hold
on.
Let's look for the good. Don't look for the bad.
No, I'm not looking for the bad. I'm asking for an option for people like this because I worked in those environments.
There are.
Well, hold on. I worked in UPS as well
at
the warehouse. We started at 4:30 in the morning, and we got done by 11. Now I understand that one. I can go to the lunch one. However, I also started another job at that time at noon. I know that was different at that point. But
every other denomination doesn't even offer that what the Catholic Church offers.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. No, I know. I'm not.
That's pretty good.
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Yeah.
I'm asking because I'm looking for options.
I'm saying for you guys out there who are looking for peace, I think that there's a lot of people out there with like what we've been saying. It's getting darker and darker, and people are seeing that light shining. There are those lights shining. A good option, could be to go get yourself into a Catholic church because there are so many different options as far as times, daily masses, where you can go in there and you can do your meditations or whatever, get your mind right, learn about God, learn about the scripture, cover one new thing every day, one new teaching, one new saint, whatever. I just think it's a good option, and people don't look at all the justices, man. All those justices that voted to overturn Roe, they are all Catholics.
Well, 5 of the 5. No, remember 5 of the 6 people that voted that were 5 out of the 6 were Catholic. The one.
Well, no, all the people that voted were Catholic, but one of the Catholics didn't vote for that.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm
saying. But all the people that voted were Catholic. All 5 who voted were Catholic. It was 5 to not. It was 5 to 5 and 4.
No,
there's 9 altogether. 5 to 4.
Yeah, no, it's 6 to 3.
Oh, it was 6 to 3. Who was the other person that voted?
Not a Catholic. Who
was that? Who was that? My bad.
Yeah, no, it's just the one.
That's crazy.
Whatever that.
And he's a conservative.
Yes. So I know one of them is at least non-Catholic.
Dude,
but
6 to 3 is very.
That's very
impressive.
Like that's very strong. Like
that's a strong
out of a 9. That's a very strong.
Wow.
Lean.
I know.
I think it is.
It is. It didn't just like it wasn't.
It wasn't like 5 to 4, which is like that. That's one vote. Really, that's just one person. This was 2. Like, wow. Okay.
These people are going. Let's. I'm sorry. Let's stick with the good news.
Yeah.
The tendency is to talk about the bad news though, because it is just so insane, especially because we just got over the weekend, and there's so many videos out there of just crazy stuff happening. Let's go through it because then we'll be able to apply it to the worldly stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go through the book stuff. So this is from the Old Testament. In Catholicism, in Mass, we always do the Old Testament. We do at least 2 readings, Old and New Testament. The first is always from the Old, and you reply with thanks be to God. And then the second reading is from the New Testament, and you say praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ, at the end. Because there's a difference. That Old Testament was God. It was before Jesus was here.
Well, yeah.
And the second is more, Jesus. So it's like everything is for a reason. It's all thought of.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's all organized. Organized religion's good. There's nothing wrong with organized religion. Do you want unorganized religion? because that's what you find with these other denominations. I'm sorry. They're unorganized. They don't know how to interpret things. I know I used to just say whatever, get into whatever, but I'm becoming more, because I hear them saying false things to me so much. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to think, like, lose my faith in those other faiths. I'm starting to really, like,
I mean, that's what happens.
You should get yourself into a decent Catholic.
But that's what's happening to them
church.
Too. I think that's happening to them too, though, in a way. So they're so gung-ho on theirs, just like...
Oh, so I'm doing the same thing.
But you're not doing it, though, the same way, though. You're doing it differently. Like, you're both... Because, I mean, when you're able to go and... When I ask the question... Too,
yeah, I don't want to do that.
No, but I would ask, too. That was a question. Where do we pray to Mary in the Bible? That was always a question. When we actually covered it, I was like, oh... Well, that is in the Bible, so so I guess yes, praying to Mary isn't like a I got what the other denomination said. But
so and then like Uncle Mike, he's like pulling it in. He's like, oh, I'm going to use my specific Bible. Okay, look it up. Boom, says it.
Yeah, hey, they like I said, they hyper focus on those certain passages or passages that just relate to what they want to talk about.
Right.
So they won't ever use like other evidence in there to back up any other claim.
Here's the first reading from the prophet Amos and Andy. See, I'd never even heard of this one, Amos. I've never heard of Amos, the book.
No.
This is from chapter 2. Thus says the Lord, for 3 crimes of Israel and for 4, I will not revoke my word, because they sell the just man for silver and the poor man for a pair of sandals. They trample the heads of the weak into the dust of the earth and force the lowly out of the way. Son and father go to the same prostitute. That's horrible. Profaning my holy name. Upon garments taken in pledge, they recycle beside any altar. And the wine of those who have been fined, they drink in the house of their God. Yet it was I who destroyed the Amorites before them, who were as tall as the cedars and as strong as the oak trees. I destroyed their fruit above and their roots beneath. It was I who brought you up from the land of Egypt and who led you through the desert for 40 years to occupy the land of the Amorites. Beware, I will crush you into the ground as a wagon crushes when laden with sheaves. Flight shall perish from the swift, and the strong man shall not retain his strength. The warrior shall not save his life, nor the bowman stand his ground. The swift of foot shall not escape, nor the horseman save his life. And the most south-hearted of warriors shall flee naked on that day, says the Lord, the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God. I got that one. That's easy. That was an easy one.
Well, what do you think about it? What's your takeaway on that one?
I mean, this is where I think some people will talk about like the vengeful, quote unquote, vengeful God, that whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not that he's vengeful. It's that he's showing you. He does tell you that if you don't follow him, he will pretty much strike down thee with mighty force, like Samuel L. Jackson kind of quoted. And I mean, but that's the thing. Like, if you don't follow his ways, you will be punished. That's the way I see it, no matter what.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I think it's true.
And I mean, he's the true judge. So why do you die from? Why do I feel like they say, well, why would he kill you? That's not godly. Because he is the judge when you come, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's how you get judged.
Let's read the second one. The second reading comes from Matthew. It's from chapter 8. When Jesus saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to cross to the other shore. A scribe approached and said to him, Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go. Jesus answered him, Foxes have dens and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head. Another of his disciples said to him, Lord, let me go first and bury my father. But Jesus answered him, Follow me and let the dead bury their dead. The gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, so that whole phrase was used yesterday, dude. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember.
I do remember that. That's why it's weird.
The dead bury their dead?
Yeah.
That was used yesterday. Why was that not
And why was that used
together?
Wait. Is it the right? I'm not a.
I swear to God, it is. It is. It's the right one.
Because I'm on a different web. I use a different source to get
Yeah,
my thing.
yeah.
I read the same thing.
It's weird, right?
When did that have been used yesterday? So
it was used.
Should it have this been used?
Yes,
yesterday?
it had a similar. There was a similar passage yesterday that used a very similar wording.
I think it was in the second reading.
It was about the dead burying their dead. No, it came from the first, dude.
Was it the first?
Yeah, that's what's so crazy. Those should go together. But that's what I'm saying. They're parsing it out. It's because it's if you go every day, there's a lesson to be taught. There's a bigger lesson to be taught if you go every day. You basically read the whole book.
No, I see that. I'm liking this though.
So I think like well, yesterday he talked about it was an inheritance. He was waiting for his dad to die so he can get his inheritance.
Okay, I remember
that was the reason why, and I think that might be part of it too on this one, maybe, because he said today that the dad wasn't getting ready to die. He just wanted to stay until he died. So I think that's part of it. It's one of those things. I think giving up your money and stuff, giving up everything and just following God.
Well, that's exactly what the last line really means in my eyes, with let the dead bury the dead, whatever.
Yeah.
Because the first part of it is follow me and let the dead bury their dead.
Right.
Follow me, have faith. I know you want to bury your father, whatever, but have faith. Follow me, and it will work itself out. Is how I also see let the dead bury it. How's the dead gonna bury the dead? Logically, they're dead, but you let it.
No, I just think like if you want to live in the past or whatever and not follow me, you're dead. You're dead just like them.
Yeah.
You know, let the dead bury their dead.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to live, come with me. He basically said.
Yeah, and sacrifice the old thought of that, the old life of that, like being dead. Now follow me to be alive.
Look at this from Aristotle. I got says, I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies. For the hardest victory is over self. It's pretty good. Anyway, let's learn a little bit about this guy, Cyril.
Cyril, yeah.
Let's learn about Cyril for a second here. Let me put that away. All right. From the book of Wikipedia.
This is from the Orange Hair book. The Orange Hair Prophet.
The Orange Hair Prophet.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, so let's learn about this guy. Cyril of Alexandria. Coptic. Ancient Greek. He was the patriarch of Alexandria. So they had that was like the Alexandria where they had the library that burnt down, right?
The biggest library.
Can you find out when that library burnt down? Anyway, he was the patriarch of Alexandria from 412 to 444. He was enthroned when the city was at the height of its influence and power within the Roman Empire. Cyril wrote extensively and was a leading antagonist in the Christological controversies of the late 4th and 5th centuries. He was a central figure in the Council of Ephesus in 431, which led to the deposition of Nestorius as Patriarch of Constantinople. Cyril is counted among the church fathers and also as a doctor of the church, and his reputation within the Christian world has results in his titles Pillar of Faith and Seal of all the Fathers. The Roman Emperor Theodosius II, however, condemned him for behaving like a proud pharaoh. Dude, there's pictures of him doing this.
That's weird. And by the way, what burned down in they're estimating around 2,000 years ago, and that was in 2011. So early AD times.
They didn't even tell you, so they don't know the estimate. They don't know.
They don't know the exact time of when it burned down. No.
Huh? We know nothing.
No.
So he said he was a Pat Fair. Anyway, he was making the OK sign, dude.
Mm-hmm.
In all kinds of pictures. It's pretty insane. If you look at an image, some of the images, it's funny. Anyway, and then Nestorian bishops at their synod at the Council of Ephesus declared him a heretic, labeling him a monster born and educated for the destruction of the church. Cyril is well known for his dispute with Nestorius and his supporter, Patriarch John of Antioch. Whom Cyril excluded from the Council of Ephesus for arriving late. He is also known for his expulsion of Novatians and Jews from Alexandria and for inflaming tensions that led to the murder of the Hellenistic philosopher Hypatia by a Christian mob. Historians disagree over the extent of his responsibility in this. Cyril tried to oblige the pious Christian emperor Theodosius II to himself by dedicating his Paschal table to him. It is also important to note that Cyril's Paschal table was provided with a metonic base structure in the form of metonic 19-year lunar cycle adopted by him around AD 425, which was very different from the first metonic 19-year lunar cycle invented around AD 260 by Anatolius, but exactly equal to the similar lunar cycle which had been introduced around AD 412 by Annianus. The Julian equivalent of this Alexandrian lunar cycle adopted by Cyrus and nowadays referred to as the classical Alexandrian 19-year lunar cycle would only much later emerge again, a century later in Rome, as the basic structure of Dionysius Exagius Exagius's Paschal table, and 2 more centuries later in England as the one of Bede's Easter table. Okay. So what is Paschal table? Okay, so it's a calendar.
That's what I see.
Huh.
All right. Well, it's interesting.
Okay.
The Catholic?
What?
No.
Where are you at? Oh, let me go back. So the Catholic Church did not commemorate Saint Cyril in the Tridentine calendar. It added his feast only in 1882, signing it to the date of February 9th. I think that's the date he was born, right? Yeah. The date is used by the Western Rite Orthodox Church. Yet a 1969 Catholic calendar revision moved it to the 27th of June, which is today, considered to be the day of the saint's death as celebrated by the Coptic Orthodox Church. The same date has been chosen for the Lutheran calendar. The Eastern Orthodox and Byzantine Catholic churches celebrate his feast date on 9th of June also, together with Pope Athanasius I of Alexandria on the 18th of January. Cyril is remembered in the Church of England with a commemoration on June 28th.
Oh, tomorrow.
So, okay, so little is known about his early life. A few years after his birth, his uncle rose to the powerful position of Patriarch of Alexandria. His mother remained close to her brother. His writings show his knowledge of Christian writers of his day and writers of the Church of Alexandria. He received a formal Christian education, which was standard for his day. He accompanied his uncle to the Synod of the Oak in Constantinople, where he deposed John Chrysostom as Archbishop of Constantinople. Blah, blah, blah. What did he do that was so exceptional? Why is he a saint?
I'm not really seeing anything that he did that was like.
Let me read this here. This right here. This is from FranciscanMedia.org.
Okay.
Saint Cyril of Alexandria story. So saints are born with halos around their head. Saints are not born with halos around their head. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Cyril, recognized as a great teacher of the church, began his career as Archbishop of Alexandria, Egypt, with impulsive, often violent actions. He pillaged and closed the churches of the Novatian heretics, who required those who denied the faith to be rebaptized, participated in the deposing of St. John Chrysostom, and confiscated Jewish property, expelling the Jews from Alexandria in retaliation for their attacks on Christians. Cyril's importance for theology and church history lies in his championing the cause of orthodoxy against the heresy of Nestorius, who taught that in Christ there were two persons, one human and one divine. The controversy centered around the two natures in Christ. Nestorius would not agree to the title God-bearer for Mary. He preferred Christ-bearer, saying there are two distinct persons in Christ, divine and human, joined only by a moral union. He said Mary was not the mother of God, but only of the man Christ, whose humanity was only a temple of God. Nestorianism implied that the humanity of Christ was a mere disguise. Jeez. I mean, is he wrong? Presiding as the Pope's representative at the Council of Ephesus in 431, Cyril condemned Nestorianism and proclaimed Mary truly the God-bearer, the mother of the one person who is truly God and truly human. In the confusion that followed, Cyril was deposed and imprisoned for 3 months, after which he was welcomed back to Alexandria. Besides needing to soften some of his opposition to those who had sided with Nestorius, Cyril had difficulties with some of his own allies who thought he had gone too far, sacrificing not only language but orthodoxy. Until his death, his policy of moderation kept his extreme partisans under control. On his deathbed, despite pressure, he refused to condemn the teacher of Nestorius. There's a reflection here. It says, lives of the saints are valuable, not only for the virtue they reveal, but also for the less admirable qualities that also appear. Holiness is a gift of God to us as human beings. Life is a process. We respond to God's gift, but sometimes with a lot of zigzagging. If Cyril had been more patient and diplomatic, the Nestorian church might not have arisen and maintained power so long. But even saints must grow out of immaturity, narrowness, and selfishness. It is because they and we do grow that we are truly saints, persons who live the life of God. It's pretty cool.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
That was. I do get it now. I guess I see it now with what he's done. I mean, there was also, I saw again the Wikipedia book, so who knows how factual it is. There was accusation of murder as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
what? Who murdered who? He murdered somebody?
Yeah, it was,
Cyril?
Let's read this a little bit. It was the prefect Orstos enjoyed the political backing of Hypatia, an astronomer, philosopher, and mathematician who had considerable moral authority of the city of Alexandria. Okay. I'm not sure how he's falling under him. Why is this under here? Oh, here. So, Platonist historian Darnicus was anxious to exploit the scandal of Hypatia's death and attributed responsibility for her murder to Bishop Cyril and his Christian followers. Damascus account of the Christian murder of Hypatia is the sole historical source attributing dire responsibility to Bishop Cyril. Huh.
Okay.
Again, though, these are, it does say it, though, in the here, controversy. So it's not saying that he might have, that he did it, but there is a murder surrounding his name, at least.
Wow.
So I don't know. Although that's still, though, we're all human. Saints are still human.
Right.
So they, like it said in the beginning of that reading, like you can start. You're not born with a halo. You can start off without it. You can start off with the devil horn first, instinct,
Oh yeah.
and then turn and convert, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Make a new covenant with the God, with your Lord, or however you phrase it.
Yes. Let's go into the bad news. Every day we do good news and bad news. Good news is from the book. Bad news is from the world. It really doesn't matter if it's good or bad, whatever your perception is. But these are the GENGHIS. This is the GENGHIS segment of the bad news. GENGHIS. Yeah, what's the first thing you got in here?
The more than 1 million voters.
Okay.
More than 1 million voters switch registration to GOP.
Dude, this is good news.
It really is. That's why I'm putting it now, because I'm like, you know what? We're still close to the good news, you know?
It's bad news, good news, bad news, good news. Good, bad
exactly.
news.
It's like good but bad, but whatever.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's good, bad news.
So yeah, it seems like 1 million voters switched registration to GOP as suburbs break from Biden. Democrats are trying to shift the conversation towards abortion.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's a video.
That's why they're going so nuts. That is why they're doing this. And then you see them all out there and they're talking about.
Oh my God, they're insane out there. I'm sorry.
No, but they're talking about get to the voter, you know, get to the polls.
Yeah.
Which one was this?
The longer one.
Is it about the midterms? Oh, it's the longer one.
Yeah, midterms. It says midterms on it, yeah.
Okay.
If it does affect the midterms, it'll be nominal.
I think you absolutely have to support the candidates that make sure that women's rights are protected.
How can you explain a Democratic Party that has failed to move on Roe v. Wade, to codify it for 40 years?
Pro-choice activists are divided on how they think the historic decision to overturn Roe versus Wade will impact the upcoming midterm elections. But ahead of 8 more states holding elections tomorrow, what's driving voters to the ballot box? Colorado voter Tara Cole, Oklahoma voter Mike Kenton, and Illinois voter Perry Zhao all join me now. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Tara, I'll start with you. You're in Colorado, and I know that Colorado is a more liberal state, but it's also a very unique state. And just give me an idea of what kind of opportunity Republicans have. As we look nationally, they have a big opportunity, but in Colorado, in light of Roe versus Wade being overturned.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today. I'm actually really excited to vote this year. One of the reasons is because of this. I'm a Colorado native. I remember when this was a red state, and I'm excited to get it back to where it is. We have some incredible candidates this year, including 2 great governor candidates to run. If we can turn the state red back again and even get a few seats, we have a chance to make this, again, a state that has not the most liberal abortion laws in the country. I wasn't sure if this would ever get overturned in my generation, but to have the opportunity to be able to make things better for people in Colorado would be my dream come true for this election.
You know, Mike, turning to you, you're there in Oklahoma. I know a little bit about Oklahoma. I watched them play Georgia in the Rose Bowl one time. But when we talk about energy, the price of energy, Oklahoma has a big energy industry. We look at it. I got a graphic here to show you gas prices. It's crazy. The national average is $4.89. Oklahoma's at $4.56. Colorado's above it at $4.90. In Illinois, we'll get to that, is $5.43. Where are Oklahomans on this?
Well, I filled up for $4.35 yesterday at Sam's, so we're fortunate compared to the rest of the country, it sounds like. My background is oil and gas. I spent 25 years in the natural gas processing industry, and the last 15 years before I retired in a major union pipeline company. So it is near and dear to my heart. And I can't believe that that industry is being destroyed right now so quickly by this administration.
You know, Oklahoma's a pretty red state. I can only imagine it's going to stay red through these midterms. Perry, turning to you, you're there in Illinois, or in Chicago, I believe, and we report every single day about teens being killed in Chicago, about the murder rate in Chicago, but it's also not a cheap place to live. Will inflation being at 8.6% be a key for voters turning out all over Illinois, but especially Chicago?
Yes. So I think there are going to be two major factors coming into play, at least especially for Chicago residents, but also for the entirety of the state of Illinois, and that's definitely inflation and crime. If you talk about inflation, we need to first talk about taxes that J.B. Pritzker imposes upon hardworking Illinoisans. Since 2019, when he came in office, he's imposed at least 20 new taxes. Among those are increasing property taxes, which he has indirect control over, but one he has direct control over are the terrible gas taxes that our nation faces, our state faces. In 2019, he, alongside lawmakers, voted on and signed a bill that essentially doubled our state's gas price taxes, which contribute to Illinoisans paying at the pump. And not only that, he has signed automatic increases every July since 2019. In fact, during COVID, J.B. Pritzker, according to comptroller data, his government has harvested more taxpayer money out of hardworking Illinoisans than even during any year of Bruce Rauner's administration. And I think that shows how unfriendly Illinois' climate is in terms of filling up gas tanks. And we need to hold lawmakers here accountable for signing this incredibly unpopular bill into law. Not only that, but signing on increases every year so that they didn't have to vote on these unpopular tax hikes that are absolutely killing Illinoisans at the pump.
And I think Pritzker is one of those that might have ambitions beyond even the governor's mention, so that's interesting to hear. Tara, going back to you real quick with this last question, are there opportunities for Republicans in Colorado? I know you all deal with homelessness. You deal with some of the kind of more liberal problems that places like San Francisco have recently rejected.
Yes.
What are some of the Republicans that have opportunities in a more liberal Colorado?
I think Heidi Ganahl, who's running for governor right now, has used some verbiage like, this is not the Colorado way of life that we want. This is not San Francisco. The problems that we're seeing from a liberal-controlled government are at our doorstep already. Infusion of drugs across the border, homelessness, like you mentioned, prices at the pump. I've had friends that have had to pick up extra jobs. This is not just something on the news anymore. Voters are waking up to these problems because they're at our doorstep. It's more important than ever to vote for constitutional conservatives.
Tara, Mike, Perry, thank you all for joining us, and good luck voting tomorrow.
So what's the major takeaway there? They went off on their opinions for a long time, and they went off on like little tangents.
Well, not a little bit, but what I didn't see what all of them were saying about their own thing is that like the Oklahoma guy. Now he says he was in the oil and gas industry for, I believe he said over 20 years. I mean, from what I know of Oklahoma, which is just stereotypical whatever knowledge, yeah, I believe that there are like oil things that they struck oil big out there years ago and all that stuff, you know? So, yeah, that would be a real problem out in Oklahoma, because if Biden tried to shut down all the oil production in America, it's affecting probably in there a lot. Then with what the first woman said from Colorado, yeah, like I always envision Colorado really being a little more red than what it really is right now, just because of the mountains and thinking of like mountain people and like having to live in harsh environments like that. Like I wouldn't think it would be liberal, but I get it. It's because of the cities there, like Denver, all that. So like, you know, that would be a great thing to have Colorado go. Doesn't it just seem weird? Like mountain people, like just envision the pro-abortion rally.
California.
Yeah, but just think of them.
Most of California, like a lot of those spots are red because they're out there. They have like a lot of land and stuff. And
I'm sure, and I really do mean it, I'm sure Oregon and Washington
are very
conservative.
It's because they have those metropolises there, though.
Yeah, because of those metropolises, and like the last guy in Chicago or Illinois was saying, like all these big cities are making all these decisions and hurting the whole state, not just the cities now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that because the problem, to quote her, is on our doorsteps now, more people like in the suburbs and everything are learning. It's not just the people out in the middle of nowhere, farm, hicks, whatever. You're now getting the suburbs. People going, wait a minute. My country cousin, it might be right.
Yeah. You got Disney.
Oh, yeah. And then I have a Disney one. I have 2 pictures with it and then a video. Disney employee slams company for paying abortion travel cost. They haven't learned their lesson. And Walt Disney World employee Jose Castillo slammed the company for a recent memo that offered travel and reimbursements for abortions, warning that guests and other employees are being alienated on Fox and Friends Monday. Castillo explained that the reimbursement funding was already a Disney policy and the company was only trying to be political by releasing the memo. So this is like, why? Like, why? And there's a little, 45-second clip from Fox and Friends.
Paying for these trips for them to go and get their abortions. Shareholders, I mean, if we own stock in any of these companies, we're paying for people to get help to go get an abortion?
Yeah, and that's the problem. It seems like Disney hasn't, Disney executives haven't not learned their lesson from the backlash from the Florida Parental Rights and Education Bill. You see the stock price going down. There are employees who they're alienating. I spoke with a colleague the other day who said, I just don't know how longer I can keep working for this company. And frankly, I'm sure there's going to be guests who are going to be saying, you know, should I really pay for a ticket to go watch a movie, to go to the theme parks, that will eventually end up paying for someone's abortion? Like I said, this was already their policy. There was really no need for them to come out and send this memo only to make a political statement.
Why?
I should just ask you from now on, what's on Fox?
Basically.
And by the way, he used a double negative. He said they have not or something, which means they have learned their lesson. He said by accident, I guess.
Okay. He probably stumbled and just repeated the word. But yeah, I mean, here's a question I have. All those companies like she brought up, like who is paying for all those things? You know, is it really, if it's going to be the shareholders, right? Then imagine what happens if shareholders take all their stocks out of all these companies and put it in other ones. Like maybe ones that won't do that or will stand with other people, for whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Could that possibly tip the inverted communist pyramid over?
I don't know.
I just thought of that now. Like if they pull their stocks out of everything, like wouldn't it? Because if they pull stocks out of like Netflix, let's say, right?
Right.
Well, no, Disney's better since we just covered it. Disney.
Yes.
Then they can't pay their employees if they're not making money, and people aren't going to want to come. They're not going to be able to maintain things, do different new stuff, and eventually people will just stop going.
Yes.
Which means they believe they're invincible.
Well, people need to vote with their pocketbooks. It's true.
They kind of do. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, now it's starting to
I mean, this goes along with what we're about to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, perfect.
It's like, okay, just like put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
The same as this. Did you hear about this? All these people are talking about going abstinent.
Yeah. Didn't we cover that yesterday?
Did we?
I think we did.
We touched on it a little bit, but I pulled some more tweets and things. Right. Look at this from Insider Magazine. Women on TikTok say hookup culture will be absolutely decimated if Roe v. Wade is overturned. Okay, and then there's some Twitter, comments and things like that. I like reading the Twitter comments because it just gives you, I think that it could open up some dialogue and some conversation between us. It's interesting to find out what people think and just different perspectives, because that was shared. And then someone says, I thought we weren't supposed to be whores. I'm confused.
I like that one.
Someone's like, they're trying to tell the guys that they won't get laid anymore to give them a reason to care about Roe v. Wade.
No.
I think that is what they're trying to say. Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's so. I mean, yeah, that's what the TikTokers are trying to say.
So that says
So
somebody else says, Shrieking Shack says, conservatives have taught promiscuous people to behave responsibly in their unrestrained lives and to not use abortion as a form of contraception. Amazing.
I feel like there's like sarcasm in it.
Oh, there is. That's highly sarcastic.
But I'm also sitting here. I'm like, I hate to say this though. You are kind of right. I mean, I was raised that way, not to just put it all out right away.
Gabe B's Games. He says, good. My word, there is more to life than what these people see. They need to get back to what matters. Not everything's about sex. It's true.
Okay, yeah. I see
It's
that.
not.
I see. All right, buddy.
Look at this. This person. J. Rubin blogger.
Yeah.
From this day forward, I refuse to have sex with any Republican.
I'm not trying to be an asshole or anything of this, but is that a man? No, I'm being serious here. Like
I have no idea.
Or I'm not sure how the person identified, but it looks
a
little okay. Well, okay.
I just find that like so crazy, man. I mean,
I don't understand it. Like it really.
Let me just go into the Twitter world stuff. Twitter. Good afternoon, Twitter world. Good morning, Twitter world.
Oh boy.
Do you ever look at? You ever watch that?
No.
You ever follow? Who was talking about that's like the best thing to follow. Look at what Charlie Kirk, dude. Charlie Kirk tweeted this, man. This is awesome.
All right, let's see it. Oh yeah, let's read it.
He says evangelicals need to seriously reevaluate how they talk about and treat Catholics. Look at the Supreme Court. It was courageous, faithful Catholics that delivered the end of Roe. Spirit-filled Christians should be thankful for such clear moral teaching and bold action. And somebody said, this is Daddy Dog _2. I don't disagree with your point, but it must be pointed out that Catholics can be very conservative or very, very liberal politically, including those who support abortion. That's hard for evangelicals to understand. So continuing, this is from SR71 Hockey. Their religion wasn't started by Christ. I get why non-denominationals are jealous of the Catholic Church. I like that one.
Yeah. Is he there?
Another one. Cantante Dio. It would be great. It would be best if Catholics saw Jesus as the only savior and not adding their Mary, who was a sinner like the rest of us, not bashing biblical. Well, of course, that's not biblical, but
stupidity. No.
And then, what is this person?
Dothan.
They have Dothan Dave.
Dothan Dave, I guess.
Most Catholics I've known have been barely religious. I've known very few high quality, quote unquote, Catholics, but they obviously exist. I've also learned over the years that Catholic theology is often misinterpreted. It's not as flimsy as some think, but it does need a rebirth, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And somebody said it's a totally separate religion that teaches unbiblical things. I don't know.
And I love what his thing is. Truth matters.
Truth matters.
That was his. What do you call it? At or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Truth matters.
More random tweets. Look at this.
I love it. It is kind of entertaining watching these. JD
Vance says, if your worldview tells you that it's bad for women to become mothers, but liberating for them to work 90 hours a week in a cubicle at New York Times or Goldman Sachs, you've been had. Someone's like, I've been engaging in some intra-left pettiness, but I wanted to take a moment to step back and say that your brain must be made of horse diarrhea. Anyway, there were some pretty good comments under that one. Like, I don't know. Can't really remember off the top of my head. Brandon Herrera.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really had a dog in the abortion fight, but nothing has been more successful in pushing me more to the pro-life side than the shitey pro-choice arguments I've heard in the last 24 hours. That's true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Some of the worst illogical arguments I've ever heard in my life. I mean, do I have to actually play the Joey video again?
You're going to have to eventually, just not yet.
Yeah. And then underneath it, we'll come into the different slide. They actually have the reply to that guy, the pro boards. When they have so many arguments, that's a pretty good one. That's on the next slide.
Oh, okay.
AOC says forced pregnancy is a crime against humanity.
You know, here's my biggest question on that.
What? I think that's insane.
Like, what I mean is, like, I'm sorry. Okay, AOC, can you please clarify for me? So Roe versus Wade is about rape? Meaning, is that it? Like, is that what Roe v. Wade is only and all about? Is only that? I mean, if that's the case, then wow.
No, I think they're thinking contraception.
No, I know. I'm being sarcastic. Like, I'm being like, wow, okay, I guess I'm sorry.
Forced pregnancy, dude. It doesn't just happen. Like,
no. Well, no, I mean,
somebody says Justin Dankula, Count Dankula, said, then don't get pregnant.
And don't, yeah.
And then someone responded to him, we can't do that without birth control, and even birth control isn't 100% effective. He wants to stop having sex, even though it's human nature. Oh my God. Why is it that they can't? All these people have no God in their lives whatsoever.
Probably not.
None. It's so obvious that the other side, the left and right, for whatever reason, God.
What?
I don't know, man. I was listening to Joe Rogan today, though, and on the way to Mass, and he really was like, they were talking about that that common quote about the people that are, you're not, if you're 30 years old, show me a liberal in his 30s, and I'll show you a man with no heart. Show you a conservative or show me somebody who's not a liberal in their 30s or 20s, and I'll show you somebody with no heart.
Yeah.
Show me somebody who's not a conservative in their 40s, and I'll show you somebody who's no brain. And he said he doesn't believe that because there's a lot of compassion on the other side, and I do agree with that too.
You mean on the
like we were talking about left and right, then you do got to kind of be in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I'm telling you, overwhelmingly, it does seem like these people. I don't want to just say blanket statement that people have no spirituality or God or whatever on the left, but it seems overwhelmingly that they don't.
It seems that there's a pattern there.
It seems like there is a pattern there.
I'm not saying, and that just means that there is a odd number of coincidental times where
because nobody
seem to not have a God.
No one forced you to get pregnant. Somebody said.
Well, that's the whole. I mean, here's the thing. Like that's where I went. I went to the extreme.
You're having sex. You're going to. You're engaging in something that has ramifications. That's it. Nobody's taking that possibility away from you. It's necessary for a growing person to be able to wrestle with that, deal with that, and to not succumb to the flesh like that,
Yeah.
And, there's consequences. It's not just that, by the way. There's STDs and all kinds of things.
Yeah. I mean, to me.
You could die. You could get HIV and die.
To me, right now, it's not the abortion part. That's scary, too.
Like, what is the thing? Like, why can't you be abstinent? Why can't we go back to being better like that? You get with somebody, and why does it have to be like the way it is? Like, people teaching.
Because I think that, and this is what I think might have happened. I think that that pendulum
says last thing. These people act like a bolt of sperm is sent down from above that impregnates innocent women just walking down the street.
We have found the smartest person on earth.
Yeah.
No. They do act like that. No, I'm by the way, I'm agreeing with the humble bean merchant guy, whatever that comment. I'm agreeing. What do they really think that's what happens? Like,
yeah.
Like, do they really think, or there's like oh my God, do they really believe in Cupid instead of a heart of love? It just gets you pregnant.
Yeah, and the stork comes. Do they believe in the stork?
So wait, is the stork doing it then? Is forcing it? No. What's happening here? I'm trying to make sense of this.
I don't know, but it's so funny that you bring that up. The stork thing that could be added to that that malt thing.
God, I mean,
and it's hilarious because look at this.
Oh no.
I'll show you in a sec. It pops up. I will not quietly go back to the 1950s.
Then I will loudly go down the street and get a malt, sir.
Yeah, it goes right along with that.
Ma'am. Thing.
Did you know when women were denied abortion, around 3 and 4 continue the pregnancy, and 98% of those who raise the child themselves are glad they didn't have an abortion by 5 years later? Source Turnaway study.
Yeah.
Some idiot underneath says, did you know when women are denied abortion, you are literally forcing them to have a baby against their will? That's all. What? This is not true.
Oh my God. And
you can,
I mean,
you don't have to, sex is not, you don't have to do it. You don't have to engage in it like,
and I mean, anyway,
like that. You can, you know, not be promiscuous. Don't be promiscuous.
Well, and I mean, I'm sorry, but what about this thing? Like, seriously, wear protection. Do the contraception, do the other contraception methods out there than abortion.
Those other contraception methods. Let's try to think about the other side though a little bit. Now, some of those are bad for your health. I know, right? Like, the pill and things. The pill is messed up. It messes up the woman's system in the long run. They really shouldn't be on it.
No, I mean that's
to be truly healthy. You shouldn't be on that stuff at all. You know?
No, not at all. But I'm talking.
But I think that the whole thought, the whole concept of children is so skewed and messed up. It's crazy.
When
the pill was invented, it changed a lot of things within our society and stuff. You know that?
In general, it changed a lot of things. And that's any medication, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truthfully, I believe medication.
But the pill, you know, because of that, before that, there was a lot of children out of wedlock.
Yes.
A lot of that was happening in the 1950s.
Yes.
Before the 1950s, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, this does give them a lot more freedom. It gives women a lot more freedom to be able to do that. Think about it if you're a woman.
No, I have, and I realize that.
Okay.
My thing is that, like, there are, I mean, I'm like, there's different things.
Try to be understanding of these people, not just poke fun of them. And
now I'm understanding of it, and what I mean by that is, like, there are, okay, like the AOC, what her Twitter or post was exactly, right? Or any of them saying that people who support Roe v. whatever are forcing. No, it's not a forced pregnancy, any of that. And here's the bigger thing. Before we talk about the pregnancy itself, let's talk about how the pregnancy starts. So if you weren't stupid and you made the man wear protection, that is usually pretty effective. I know it says 99 and it's not 100%, 100% proof that it will work, whatever. But that's with everything. It's human.
And by the way, I think I got there. I heard somebody arguing about the body, my choice thing.
Yeah.
And they're not saying, apparently they're not saying, this is the way that she explained it, her interpretation, and I think that it's correct.
Okay.
They're not saying that the child is actually literally their body. They're saying, listen, it's my body. I know that it's me and you, but it's my body, and I got to deal with this, and I'm exiting. I want it out. I want it out of my body. That's the argument.
Well, then, you know what? In that case, I have to bring up another good argument then.
Okay. Because you do see that argument, don't you?
That argument.
I do too.
I do.
And I'm going to admit it. I'll admit it.
I do. However, I have one question
What?
to them that I think could stump them and leave them in their tracks. Is that, okay, fine then. So if you have the right, per se, to sign away the baby, whatever, because that's kind of what you're doing here, shouldn't that give any man the right to sign away their child so they don't, and I'm not saying out of a financial...
Listen, they don't want precedent set. If they set some kind of precedent showing that the child inside is like owned by both of the people, I mean, that could like open up a can of worms also.
Yeah.
Where like a man could claim ownership of what's inside the woman's body. Think about it. There's a lot of so this is actually a very complicated, super complicated issue.
I'm a little, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm not as understanding of it as you are. I'll put that out there. I just have it. Just
I think it's more about self-control. Listen, no.
That's that's it. That's the main biggest.
I'm happy with the ruling.
Yeah, I am. No, I am too. I mean,
I'm just saying that I do. I have sympathy for them. I understand where they're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But and I know it's going to be hard because growth is hard. Growth is painful.
Always, actually.
It is. But unfortunately, a new way to correct the issue has to come around. And you know what it is? It's what we talk about all the time. It's spirituality. You need that in your life.
I feel like that's coming back around.
I think it is coming back around. I feel it coming back around. I feel it. I'm serious.
Because there's too many things. And I think that
it's when it's like you started talking about the pendulum.
It's coming back. I already know.
Listen, if you got like curly hair, you want straight hair.
Oh, okay.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know much. That's why I'm like.
Do you know what I'm saying? You always want what the other has. You're always comparing yourself.
You're not wrong there because when I did have hair, it wasn't curly but wavy like when it got long, and I'm like, man, I wanted my hair to be more straight, like not. I'm like, I don't want to straighten my hair. That's just not what I'm gonna do.
Right.
And then I lost my hair, so I started shaving. But yeah, I think they need something in their lives, I believe. And I know of a few people who actually chose not to get an abortion back when I was in high school. And she said it was the greatest thing in her life.
Right, I know.
Like it changed her life. She was that, unpredictable party kind of girl. And yeah, it was a kid out of wedlock. But you know what? She ended up turning around and becoming seriously? Probably one of the best moms I ever saw.
What they're basically doing by doing this, because it's an easy way out thing. It enables bad behavior.
Yes.
The law. I understand why it was put in the books originally, but it's become a thing that's like
they're abusing the law.
It's abused.
You're taking it out of context.
It's abused, and I'm glad that what happened. Yeah. But I'm glad. Then that's it. I'm glad what happened. Here's some more of this tweet.
On that. Yeah.
These tweets. For instance, a response to that last one. There was that the pro-aborts only have so many arguments.
Right.
One is, I have the right not to face the consequences of my own actions. Number 2, it's better to be dead than unhappy. Number 3, less than 1% of cases justify 100% of cases. Number 4, I prefer my shitty job and box wine to a living child.
Oh, damn. That's a harsh one there. I like that, though.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo says, we live in a world where someone would rather kill their baby than not have sex.
I mean, they can.
Somebody says, it's amazing. This needs to be stated, but people don't just want sex, they need it. You become unbalanced and stressed out if you're sexually frustrated. That's true.
Yeah.
It's not just some fun thing we do because we like it. It's also a necessity in order for us to relax and calm down. Yeah, but don't have sex with random people.
That's the whole, and this is the other thing. Like,
you're not supposed to be having sex with random people. Sorry.
I gotta add this. I really do feel that this is like this is the true aftermath of the 60s.
Yes.
This is it.
Horrible people. They're idiots.
Well, because since they had the kids doing the same thing,
and they were named, and they had no
doing the same thing. Except here's the worst part: when you're being told it one way. Like,
some people are not though. Some people like me are seeing that was wrong.
Yeah, no,
and they're not doing that. They're not going down that road. They're seeing it was wrong, and they're going the opposite direction. Like the grandparents, which was the greatest generation, which is what we have to do.
I agree with the greatest generation.
But look at this meme too. It's so funny. It's got like the
Yeah, I like it. I was looking at that when you
they're
first
gangster.
put it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, they are gangster, man. It's awesome.
I love how Clarence Thomas' eyes are.
Yeah. You were going to talk about Billie Joe in the thing, right?
Yeah, I know you also had stuff on him.
Or should I finish the tweets?
Yeah, let's finish the tweets.
No. We'll go back to the tweets. There's 2 more slides of tweets. Let's go to the Billie Joe thing. I actually laid out something before you told me you got that. Did you get the Daily Mail one?
No, I got Fox again.
No. This is Daily Mail. I got this yesterday off Twitter and that's why I was telling you should, highly consider doing that, Genghis, because you get a variety of things.
I have it already. I'm on it.
But the Daily Mail, do you want to read it? You can read the Daily Mail. But the Daily Mail is from the UK, and that's where and that's where this happened.
All right. So I guess so F America. Green Day star Billie Joe Armstrong says he's renouncing his U.S. citizenship during London's concert in wake of SCOTUS overruling Roe. Then Green Day star Billie Joe Armstrong proclaimed F America and claimed he was renouncing his citizenship in wake of Supreme Court decision to overturn federal abortion protection. Armstrong, 50, made the declaration during a Friday night concert in London, telling audience there's too much effing stupid in the world. He also told the crowd he was going to move to the UK, a statement that was met with roaring applause. Armstrong's remarks came as protests erupted across the U.S. after the conservative majority High Court voted to overturn the landmark 1973 case Roe versus Wade, which held that abortion fell under the constitutional right to privacy. The American Idol hitmaker has repeatedly used his musical platform to protest politicians and alleged injustices. At a show earlier this month, he performed in front of a backdrop that read F. Ted Cruz in an effort to take aim at the GOP senator from Texas. He previously called out former President Donald Trump for holding half the country hostage and devoted an entire album to criticizing former President George W. Bush and the Iraq War. Armstrong, who has backed President Joe Biden, also reportedly filed paperwork last year to run as a Republican in the 2024 presidential election. What would that have done?
What?
No, really, what would that I'm sorry. Never mind. F America, I'm effing renouncing my citizenship. I'm effing coming here, Armstrong told the London Stadium crowd Friday night. There's just way too much effing stupid in the world to go back to that miserable effing excuse for a country. Okay, leave then. He added, "Oh, I'm not kidding. You're going to get a lot of me in the coming days." The musician political outcry continued Saturday night at his show in Huddersfield, England. Concert goers claimed he told the crowd F the Supreme Court of America before playing American Idiot. I like that song.
Wow.
Which the band had previously said was written out of anger about not being represented by national leadership. He also alleged called the justice pricks during his performance of Hitching a Ride.
Well, I think we get the point.
So basically, he's just bashing America.
Somebody said Billie Joe Armstrong doesn't want to be an American idiot. That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
that was a good tweet.
And
I got the video of it. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Fuck America. I'm fucking renouncing my citizenship. I'm fucking coming here. I just have too much fucking stupid in the world to go back to that miserable fucking excuse for a country.
Wow.
I mean, truthfully here.
Yeah. What?
I used to
Oh
love
yeah, I
Green
did
Day,
too. I
and
did too.
mean, I still like their music. I still love the song American Idiot.
I used to do the podcast, Dying Scene Radio podcast.
Yeah.
And it was we covered Billie Joe Armstrong all the time. He's always getting political and being a lefty.
I mean,
that's his thing.
Yeah. So honestly, I'm kind of shocked that it took him this long. I mean, no, not really. He did make a lot of comments about Trump. I do remember that.
He's always making these comments.
And that's the whole thing. Like,
but
isn't that anti-punk rock? Like, or no, wouldn't that be punk? That is actually kind of more punk.
That's a whole nother thing we can go off on.
Yeah, that is.
That's a thing that switched also, like the Democrat and Republican Party switches, supposedly. Punk rock has switched.
Yeah.
You want to read a gay manifesto?
A what?
Gay manifesto.
Of who?
I don't know. Let me just read this. This is on Twitter. I saw this on Twitter, dude. While I'm I prepared for the show while I'm on the toilet at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so this is from Tinfoil Hat 1701. He put this on Twitter.
Whoa.
A message from the left, from a gay man. It wasn't enough. Let me read it. It wasn't enough. Oh, you're angry because of the reversal of Roe v. Wade? Okay, you're angry because you think they will come for gay marriage next in gay relations? Okay. Let's see whose fault is that, per se. Any guesses? We're looking right at the issue now. You, all we gay, bi, lesbians, and even some sane transgender people was to be able to live our lives as normal people and blend in with the rest of the community with our partners. We got that back in 2015 and we're good with it. In fact, we were closing the fight after that. However, for you, it wasn't enough. You sent your minions to a Christian baker who just wanted to bake cakes and follow his belief in God. You didn't want to go to the next store. You chose him so you could attack his beliefs. You did so many times over. I'm surprised he's still in business. It wasn't enough. You begin pushing Pride Month, where corporations would virtue signal by putting pride labels on their logos. You pushed it in every TV station across America while they had to sit there and deal with the crap for an entire month. Yet the birth of our nation, July 4th, only gets one day. Our veterans who fought for our freedom in this country only get one day. It wasn't enough. You pushed your ways into workplaces and demanded that anyone who disagrees with LGBT needs to be silenced and fired just for voicing their opinion, all for equality. It wasn't enough. You then forced your ways into the schools, silencing and shaming any opposition. If anyone said anything, even us gay people, we were all silenced, shamed, and even attacked at our workplace by getting us fired. It wasn't enough. You pushed your way through convincing society that children under the age of 18 were transgender at the drop of the hat. They needed access to hormone blockers and surgery. If people disagreed, they were bigots, transphobes, haters, evil. It wasn't enough. We now have trans people who transitioned at an early age. They are now regretting decisions that have forever mutilated their bodies and their lives destroyed. Yet when they speak up, they were silenced too and called transphobes. It wasn't enough. We now have drag queens reading to kids in libraries, doing very sexual, erotic dances, exposing themselves. Yet you want to call that teaching equality. If anyone spoke up against it, again, you call us transphobe, homophobe, and Nazis. It wasn't enough. Now we have teachers pushing LGBT ideology along with pornographic books and teaching about wild sex positions while calling it LGBT sex education. When we called it out, you called us Nazis, bigots, homophobes. Now we have more pride events with full nudity and very explicit actions being done in front of children. We have sex kink being brought into the mix in front of children. We have parents bringing their kids to Pride, exposing them to this stuff. When we called it out, you screamed the same names, transphobe, homophobe, Nazi, and then some. We see what you're trying to do. You're normalizing pedophilia. However, myself and many other sane LGBT peeps are calling you ASSHOLES is out. We're not going to let you do it. You destroyed equality for us. So we're going to make your lives miserable. You're not going to touch kids. You're not going to keep this going. It's ending now. We will call you out, expose you all to the world. When you start feeling that anger and hate flow toward you, calling us homophobe, transphobe, it is no longer going to work. You played your card too long and it ends. You only have yourself to blame because it wasn't enough for you. It won't be enough for us until every single one of you are brought to some sort of justice. You're pedophiles. You're the monsters in the shadow, wanting to get close to any kid around. You want to pervert them so you can normalize grooming them. Nope, not anymore. Get ready because we're coming for you and we're bringing all hell with us just for you. There is no more discussion, no more reasoning, no more anything. You brought this on you all because it wasn't enough. Sincerely, the LGBT community who just wanted equality. How about that? It's pretty good.
I was wondering this even back like when the first Drag Queen Story Hour came out like a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
I remember sitting there and I asked one of my friends who happens to be gay, but he is just a gay man with a husband. I asked him, I'm like, so what do you, like, I know you don't like Donald Trump, all that, sir, but what do you feel about the Drag Queen Story Hour? And he's like, look, I used to dance around in my mother's clothes too when I was younger. He's like, it's fine. That's a normal thing that a gay child does. He's like, but no children need to be indoctrinated to become that gay kid. He's like, I was gay because I was born gay, honey.
Yeah.
He just, that's it. But he's not flamboyant like that. He can put it on for fun.
But that can happen. Look at Hernandez, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot.
So all you got to do is look at Hernandez. That guy was not born that way. Okay. Yeah. That was things happened to him when he was young.
Yeah. Like
that made him like that. And there's both.
That's what I think it is.
Both of those things are true. Well, how do you become what's the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath? The psychopath is born and a sociopath is
taught or something. You become a sociopath.
Oh, you become a sociopath and you're born a psychopath.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing.
You're taught to be you can be taught to be one. Yeah.
I think it's probably the same thing for homosexuality. It's probably both.
I feel as if, because even another friend I knew he claimed he was gay. He was molested by his stepfather.
There you go. So
I didn't think he was though. He didn't seem it.
Look at this. There's a video of naked bike riders. But it goes along with what we're talking about. This is a pride event, and then the bike riders are you can see children all in the audience. Take a look. Look at the audience. There's children all throughout the audience. I don't know why parents bring their kids to this. It doesn't make any sense to me, really. I mean, obviously you're free to do whatever you want, but what would be the point of doing this? I don't understand. There's kids everywhere. Naked bike riders. It's like what we were talking about just now in that manifesto.
Yeah. This is, there's total differences.
Yeah. No sane people would.
No, I'm telling you.
No, you're absolutely right. No sane people. What kind of people would bring your kids? You're a disgrace. But it's not, and it's not my job to judge. You know, I'll pray for you. Do what to do. We should make a prayer list while we're doing this, right?
Yeah.
Have a prayer list every day. Be like, all right, add that person to the prayer list. And at the end of it, we end after the meditation. We do our last prayer for all, like, love thy enemy.
Mm-hmm.
We pray for all the people that are all scum that we mentioned we mentioned in the bad news. We'll start doing it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea.
No, I like that idea. I'm still just in a total like mind fog of like, are you serious? Like,
it's stupid. I mean, look at also about the liberals, which is crazy. And I'm sorry to get this way, man. But it's kind of like Malcolm X said, and I got that video.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox, and a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to, but the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. You take him for. There are many whites who are trying to.
So true.
That is.
And I got something to back that up, dude. Because what it's also in the news today is, I don't know if you've seen this, but Clarence Thomas, he's black.
Yeah.
Our Supreme Court justice, our awesome Supreme Court justice, our Catholic Supreme Court justice. I love him. Mm-hmm. But people are being racist against him. All those liberals, all those liberal idiots, stupidiots. Judging from today's racist trends against Clarence Thomas, it's safe to say Malcolm X was right about white liberals. He said the white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. Look at Bette Midler. She writes, "Hey, asshole." Well, she reposted a meme that says, "Hey, ASSHOLE, your marriage was once against the law too," and it shows a picture of him and his wife, his white wife.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone responded underneath that. They said, "I hope some enterprising litigators will arrange, quote unquote, for someone to deny a marriage license to an interracial couple and relitigate the Loving v. Virginia case all the way to SCOTUS." What? I mean, that's insane.
Okay.
So these things aren't even the same. And then somebody said, no, he's got a Caucasian wife. So doesn't that make him, and please, nobody blame this phrase on anyone, but a Southern cracker, an uppity N-word? Dude, these are liberals, dude. They're quote unquote liberals. Look what it continues. Like this was going on crazy. Like we always talk about how they're hypocritical. We always talk about it. Look at this. Look at this evidence right here. Somebody said, Anthony B. Bradley, PhD, said, I've been really shocked. Who's a black gentleman, by the way. I've been really shocked by the number of progressives calling Clarence Thomas a quote-unquote N-word because of his stance on abortion. And then if you zeroed in on that tweet that he retweeted, it said, rule of thumb, if saying it about MLK would be racist, then saying it about Clarence Thomas is also racist. You may think Justice Thomas is regressive, even evil. That doesn't justify responding in a way that is regressive, even evil. And so, look, you can just look down and you can see somebody said, John P. Cummings, Clarence Thomas really wants to own slaves and be able to call black people N-words in front of white people and laugh. Coon ass mother effer. Jared Pacan. You mean Supreme Court Justice Uncle Tom? John Corbett Clarence Thomas, just another dumb field N-word. Bob Falsey, Clarence Thomas is still a N-word slave to his white nutcase wife, Ginny Thomas, and the Supreme Court is an effing mess. I can't say it any other way, but it's the truth no matter what you think. Oh, is it? Somebody, AJ, doesn't this N-word realize his rights are next? Abigail Markstein, this tweet is sickening. Clarence Thomas is a dirty porch monkey, and as a trans woman, I'm giving everyone permission to use the N-word on him. What?
And who gives you the right? You can't. Yeah, you know what?
Crazy, man. Look at Lori Lightfoot, the Chicago mayor. She's saying F Clarence Thomas.
Oh, I know.
Concurrence. He said, "Thank you, fuck Clarence Thomas."
Fuck you, Clarence Thomas!
He thinks we are going to stand idly by when they take our rights. And if you read Clarence Thomas,
Wow. They're like taking it out on Clarence Thomas. Right?
Oh my God. How are we so stupid and blind?
What?
Remember, this was probably, I guess now like 2 weeks ago. Remember they were the Senate was talking about upping security for judicial members, and the Democrats denied it. This was like 2-3 weeks ago or something. It was after some people went out to Brett Kavanaugh's house and somebody else's house. Oh, when they caught that person at the Minnesota or Michigan judge's house, I did bad news on this. And they were then talking about like adding security to any judicial member's house. And who were the people that declined it? The two headrunners that I saw, Lightfoot and AOC.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what they're inciting. In other words, these people right now, I pray for all judicial members right now to be safe wherever they are, no matter what how high up or whatever your court is.
Yeah.
Because right now, like, I think what they're trying to do, this is how they got rid of the executive. We already know that. Now they're getting rid of the judicial with their goons.
They are, dude.
I'm telling you right now, I want to put this on record today at June 27th.
We're building on this inverted dictatorship, collective dictatorship theory.
They're going to attack somebody's house, a judicial person's house. And I'm telling you right now, I really feel like it's
going to be Clarence Thomas.
I don't know who they're going to do it with or what they're going to exactly happen, but I'm going to tell you this. Then it's going to be terrible because they're going to attack somebody and possibly, yes, either harm very badly or possibly even kill one of these justice people. I'm telling you right now. I don't like the idea that it's here, but they're getting close.
That's mafia tactics. That's
what
what used to happen in Italy. They used to kill the judges.
Here's the difference: is that for some reason I feel like that if it was the mafia, how they would have done it, you found out that the judge was dead when you all woke up the next morning or something. This is going to be something that they're going to broadcast on TikTok wherever they go. I'm telling you right now. There are going to be videos of them hurting.
Oh my God. Are you saying like the kind of thing like that happened to JFK is going to happen to one of the justices?
Yes. However, because they're all anti-gun, they're going to make it more brutal and record it themselves all probably like beating the crap out of him until the police come. And then it's going to be police brutality. And a police officer is going to be charged with the murder of somebody that was beating up his judicial member.
This is where you're going with this? Okay.
That's where I think this is heading right now. It's gonna, I don't know why, but if you just look at their patterns, it's escalating. Look at what they did years and years ago. And how about this? Look in the 1900s. After slavery and the KKK was rampant down in the South.
Yeah.
They were going to people's houses and just killing them, right?
Yeah.
They're going to start doing this, but not toward blacks or like that. it's anybody who's conservative now. They're going to.
Well, we were already talking yesterday about they want to go after Catholics, Christians.
They're going to go after any conservative-minded person.
It's a fight of good versus evil. Look at here's some more tweets. Let me just go off some more tweets. Somebody said if anybody, what was this? AMA Black Patriot.
AMA.
If anyone's confused about who or how the KKK started, read what Democrats are saying about Justice Clarence Thomas. They're returning to their roots.
Amen to that. They are.
Democrats are going after Justice Thomas with the same hang 'em high mentality that they pushed black people with in the days of Jim Crow. Only difference is they have recruited people who look like Justice Thomas to lead the way.
Huh.
And then Sugar Magnolia. Abortion is an industry. Let that thought sink in. Then, therefore, I do not understand how a person can be pro-abortion and anti-capitalism. Look what you stand for. Wow. And like she attached a video, Planned Parenthood testimony on selling baby parts.
Yeah, I see that. That's.
How about Abby Libby? Denying sex to men who aren't willing to marry you and raise your kids is empowering, actually. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute.
And someone said,
"Oh, okay, I like this one now." Never mind.
Someone said that's why rape might happen, but we can combat that one by taking the emergency day after pill, and making the penalty for convicted rape be castration. Very strong deterrent.
You know, I'm not actually going to deny that part there. That's a good point.
Mother Trumper, please no more lib tantrum videos. Since Roe Wade announcement, I've never seen so many unladylike, unfeminine, unattractive brutes. Look like a bunch of prison rats. A 100% antithesis to the true beauty and meaning of womanhood. And sadly, that is what they seek to destroy.
Basically.
Exposing these videos just perpetuates their actions. I ignore them. Ignore them and they'll move on to something else to screech about.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that's it. Like, I mean, think about it. Before this, it was about guns, right? Now it's about the abortion thing. Next, who knows?
Yeah.
Really?
This was in the news. This Jodi Sweetin.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah, did you see this?
Yep. Or not trampled, thrown to the ground by LAPD officers or something, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I read it.
You saw the video?
Yeah,
I pulled the video too.
Oh, I didn't.
The LAPD just manhandled activist Jodi Sweetin at a pro-choice protest. The LAPD just it's toy. Sorry, but that's the picture of her too.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she looks like now. She was, the girl on
Full House.
House,
and then the Netflix continuation Fuller House.
That's right. She was on there too.
Yeah.
So Full House star Jodi Sweetin pushed. She was shoved to the ground by LA police officers at a pro-choice protest on Saturday. The Full House star, 40 years old, was speaking into a megaphone on the side of the freeway during a protest against the recent Supreme Court ruling when multiple officers pushed her, sending her tumbling to the ground. According to the footage posted to Instagram, what the F is wrong with you guys? One protester can be heard saying to the officers in response. Sweetin picked herself up, readjusted her baseball cap back on, and quickly joined in a no justice, no peace chant. The video shows. Oh, God. She plays Stephanie Tanner. That's right. That's her name.
Yep.
Here's the video. Get over here.
Wow, that just.
Well, she really wants abortion to be legal still, huh?
I mean, I guess she does, and I guess it's.
Did I read all the tweets? All of them? Hold on. Okay, I read that one. Yep. Did I read the other one?
I know you also have Harris to talk about, or no, you have Pelosi.
Yeah, that was the last one, but. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Mike Cernovich says Martin Luther was a Reddit reply guy. This is more about the Catholic thing.
Oh, okay.
Martin Luther was a Reddit reply guy. He literally posted a screed in a public forum. He has no direct lineage to the apostles and disciples. Amen to that, my brother. That's true. And then somebody was underneath replying, incarcerate Fauci. What Protestant has ever claimed he had direct lineage to the apostles? That's not something Protestants put any value in. Accurate gospel being preached to the world is more important. All right. As long as you're accurately interpreting it.
That's the whole thing. Which
who's to say your interpretation is right though?
Yeah, that too.
And then underneath that person, Kat Littell,
I think.
She said, how can Protestants even try to preach the accurate quote unquote gospel if they ignore the first 1500 years of the gospels and apostolic lineage? Makes sense to me. Jack Pasabic, ladies, consider this. It's like OnlyFans, but only one customer for the rest of your life who provides you with free lodging, meals, income, healthcare, personal vehicle, and a sizable clothing allowance. Yeah, it's great, right?
Legend.
Oh my God.
That was good.
Somebody said underneath that available men like that don't exist. I've been looking for 17 years now and still have yet to find one. Most men call what you describe as standards set too high and blame the woman for why she's single when she says that is what she's holding out for. Yeah, right. It's not true at all. Underneath that, and if you each give it 100%, you'll be happier than anyone you know. Under that, they'd be like, I don't need to know, man. I like being independent.
Yeah.
Someone was like, they told you the answers to the test and you're still getting it wrong. The problem is you, not them. I think that was in reply to the one talking about the 17 years, right?
Yeah. Wait, yeah.
He only listed what you get as an exercise. Would you please add what men like this should get in return? And then that same woman who said that thing about the 17 years, she says, whatever he wants, to be honest. When you love someone and are married and he fulfills his duties such as are listed, then a wife should be under the same obligation to take care of him in whatever way he requires. Both parties are both equal and codependent. And someone underneath was like, my wife is on that plan. There are guys out there who do provide for their wives. Just saying. Yeah, I don't know. That person does. That's sad that person thinks that.
So,
What?
What I also see is that maybe she. So she's not a liberal, okay? When I put it out there like that, in the truth of the nature, I think she thinks she's a liberal, but she probably thinks she sides with all the liberal stuff, whether it's whatever issue. So that's what it might be, and by having those thoughts, she's attracting the liberal guys who don't want to provide.
Oh yeah,
don't want to.
Oh yeah.
So she's looking at
all the betas,
yeah, and then she's like, "Well, you're not doing that. You're not doing that for me. You're not doing that for me." But she has a miscue in her mind.
Right. We know that.
Yeah.
That's true. But that's a different podcast. We don't teach that.
No, but she's probably honestly more conservative than she even believed. That's what I feel bad for her.
I do. I see that too. I see that she's that she's a liberal coming to her senses probably.
Yeah. It's funny because
she really wants it. You can tell she really wants that kind of life, but she thinks that it's unattainable. And it's not true. There's so many guys out there that's what they want.
There are probably more
than what she thinks.
Yeah. There definitely are because
and people need to go out and find that out and figure that out.
Yeah.
Because that's what you need. You don't need the government to take care of you. You need somebody else. Yeah. You need a life partner. It's a life partner. That's all it is. A wife, a husband or a wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a partnership. Like you're getting through life together. Like, listen, we're going to do this together.
Yeah, that's supposed to be, my dad always said it. It's supposed to be your best friend to go through all of life's obstacles with.
Yes.
So you always have that one person, Yeah.
That why are we not? Why are we not teaching that? Why did we get so backwards, dude? This country's backwards. Society's backwards. Everybody knows it. Everybody's waking up to it. You're not going to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. That's it.
We're gonna.
People are figuring it out. That's what's happening, and it's because of the internet.
Yeah.
It's because of the internet. Because we have unlimited resources. Look what happened with the Catholic Church. Now there's 15 million different denominations. It's the same thing. We're gonna interpret information whether you like it or not. You're gonna put out your little stupid tweet, your stupid little news story, and with your spin on it, and we're gonna interpret it even though you don't like it and you're trying to hide it. We are going to find out what's going on because knowledge is power, and you're done. And that's the truth.
Yeah,
that's where we're moving towards. We're moving towards really we the people. They think they're gonna move towards a one world lockdown government. We're moving towards a one world we the people government. That's what we're doing.
Well, again, the quote of a founding father, Benjamin Franklin, every 250 years, the country needs a revolution. And when I say that, I don't mean a war necessarily.
Yeah.
What I mean is a revolution where it changes. Because, we have gone, in my eyes now, we have gone.
It's an evolution of governments.
Yeah. Basically, we have gone through the different phases.
The same way that they say, to the Second Amendment, whatever, the muskets, right? Things, you reach a point where, okay, the founding fathers, it doesn't hold up anymore. Maybe.
It has to be.
Maybe that's what happens.
Defined,
or it needs to be more defined for the times.
Yeah.
For the times.
Yeah. Like I do believe that there has to be redefining on what it exactly means.
A national divorce is definitely happening though.
Yeah. Because like I said, if this
continues.
Well, there's going to be a divorce of this no matter what, because right now I believe that everybody is starting to really see that it is one-sided.
People want like what she was saying, like she thinks that it's so unattainable. No, people want wives, people want families, they want space, they want God.
Yeah.
They want all those things. And you could go have those other things if you want to. Go do those things if you want to, but don't try to infringe on others who want that.
That's basically what they're basically, I get it. Look, I'm sure even back then in the 40s and 50s, I'm sure there were those independent people who didn't want to get married, didn't want to have kids. They just wanted to do what I don't know what they wanted to do, but they just wanted to do a different path.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they're probably now older, and sadly they might be alone because they didn't have any family, have a wife and kids. But that was their choice. So don't make everybody do their choice. You could let everyone do whatever choice they make on their own.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're trying to tell us, I think.
Mayra Flores, she was in there. She was in the news.
Her daughter got shoved by Pelosi, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Nancy Pelosi physically assaulted Mayra Flores's kid.
Yeah.
So GOP Representative Mayra Flores accuses Speaker Nancy Pelosi of pushing daughter during photo op. I'm so proud of my strong and beautiful daughter for not allowing this to faze her. She continued to smile and pose for the picture like a queen. No child should be pushed to the side for a photo op, period. I'll play it in a second. Newly elected GOP Congresswoman accused House Speaker Nancy Pelosi of pushing her daughter during a photo op after her swearing in or at her swearing in ceremony. Representative Mayra Flores of Texas made the accusation after the video posted on social media showed her posing with Pelosi and her family at the ceremony, with conservative commentators saying the speaker elbowed Flores' daughter. No child should be pushed to the side for a photo op, period. Flores captioned in the retweet video. I am so proud of my strong, beautiful. I already read all that.
Yeah, that's just a recap.
Let me just play it then.
Yeah,
we get it.
I love. I watched it a few times.
We wanted our pastor to come into the picture.
Pastor.
Yes.
She came back.
She just took it like a champ and it didn't even like phase her like. I mean, I totally think that Pelosi did it on purpose.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, but I love how that daughter just took it. Oh God,
it's hilarious. What a scum.
I mean,
what a pure scum.
Oh God, she is just. I don't know. I don't know. She needs a lot.
Let's okay, we're gonna do the meditation, but also I forgot I wanted to say the Psalms today, because I thought it tied in. Hit the good music thing. I mean the good news, yeah. So we're just finishing up for today, and then we're gonna let you guys go. Enjoy your Monday, enjoy your week. From Psalm 50. Remember this, you who never think of God. Why do you recite my statutes and profess my covenant with your mouth, though you hate discipline and cast my words behind you? Remember this, you who never think of God. When you see a thief, you keep pace with him, and with adulterers you throw in your lot. To your mouth you give free rein for evil. You harness your tongue to deceit. Remember this, you who never think of God. You sit speaking against your brother, against your mother's son. You spread rumors. When you do these things, shall I be deaf to it? Or do you think that I am like yourself? I will correct you by drawing them up before your eyes. Remember this, you who never think of God. Consider this, you who forget God, lest I rend you and there will be no one to rescue you. He that offers praise as a sacrifice glories me. And to him that goes the right way, I will show the salvation of God. Remember this, you who never think of God. He that offers praise as a sacrifice glories me. Remember that. That's what I was saying. The arithmetic goes like this. Meditation plus spirituality equals peace. The meditation and the spirituality part is the sacrifice part. A great way to do that on a daily is through the Catholic spiritual language to God. That's all we're talking about. And so today's meditation is by that saint that we spoke about today.
Oh,
Saint Cyril.
Cyril, sorry.
Whatever his name is. You don't say sorry.
Yeah,
whatever his weird name. Cyril. Cyril.
I just wrong.
The title is Becoming the Place for Christ to Lay His Head.
Yeah.
Earnestly to follow Christ is confessedly profitable to salvation. But he who wishes to be counted worthy of such great glory must, I say, bear his cross. And what is to bear the cross? It is to die to the world, but by denying its empty distractions and abandoning a carnal and pleasure-loving life. For it is written, do not love the world or the things of the world. For all that is in the world is sensual lust enticement for the eyes, and a pretentious life. God, so true. And again, do not know that to be a lover of the world means eternity with God. Therefore, whoever wants to be a lover of the world makes himself an enemy of God. The one, therefore, whose choice is to be with Christ loves that which is admirable and profitable for salvation. But let him hearken to our words. Remove that which separates you from Christ. Break down the enmity. Burst open the hedge that is between, for then you will be with Christ. Christ says, foxes have dens and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head. And the simple meaning of that passage is as follows: that the beasts and birds have dens and dwellings, but I have nothing to offer of those things which are the objects of general pursuit. For I have no place to dwell and rest myself and lay my head. But the inner and secret significance of the passage is attained by more profound thoughts. For he seems to mean by the foxes and birds those wicked and cunning and impure powers, the herds and demons. For they are so called in many places in the scriptures. Expel the beasts, hunt out the foxes, drive away the birds. Free your hearts from their impurity in order that the Son of Man may find a place in you to lay his head, the Word of God who was incarnate and became man. He in whom Christ dwells is a temple, not of one of those gods falsely named so, but of him who by nature and in truth is God. For we have been taught to say that we are the temple of the living God.
All right.
Wow. I mean, he was getting mad at that other dude for saying that the Trinity wasn't the Trinity, and now he's telling everybody that we're all gods. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you this, he's weird.
This guy's a weirdo. He's
Like,
a weird saint. It's a weird saint. I don't understand the saint thing.
I mean,
and some of them I don't understand it.
I do like what the whole meditation was about.
I do.
I don't. But coming from him, it's a little weird because, like you said, he defied.
Yeah.
Before with the Trinity, so I don't understand him, like his view on it, I guess. However,
what's the man of God? I mean, what's the Son of Man?
What is the Son of Man?
Yeah, the Son of Man. I always hear the Son of Man, and I always, isn't that weird? Don't you think the Son of Man sounds weird? Son of Man.
Let's see what this says. What is the biblical meaning for Son of Man? Christians commonly take to the phrase Son of Man in these passages to refer to Jesus.
I know, but
yeah, but why? Like,
probably etymology. You got to look up.
Oh,
etymology of the Son of Man. Something like that. All right, let's get back. Let's get to work. We're gonna get to work today, guys. It has been real. I hope you learned a lot. Thank you for joining us on this 33rd episode of the FATENZO Show. Yeah. I am your host. Doesn't matter what my name is. And it doesn't matter what my co-host's name is either. It doesn't matter what anybody's name is, honestly. You know?
All distraction.
We're in the world. We're not of it. Be in the world, not of it. Let the dead bury their dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm liking that phrase a lot more each time I hear it.
The dead bury their dead?
Yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow, man. See you guys tomorrow on Tuesday, 13th week in ordinary time. The podcast is ended. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. And of course, as always, vaya con Dios.
Go with God.
Outstanding. Pow!